Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine
And Jennifer Denny.
and this morning we're going to talk about strategy. It is my favorite topic, and Jen, I know it's yours.
I definitely call myself a strategist. like,
Abs.
I'm always thinking of what's the strategy.
And so, today, okay, this is a little bit of a soapbox episode, but I really want to talk a little bit about what goes into a strategy and what you need to be thinking about as you're planning your marketing.
yes. There's so much that goes into it, and I feel like sometimes people just rush really quick and they think it's the internet, and they're just kind of like, okay, I have everything going now. Is it working? Like, I
And
think of. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. You think of strategy.
Yeah, when I think of strategy, I always want to refer it back to hypothesis. So I like to take the scientific approach to anything that I do. And, you think of a strategy, but it's basically a hypothesis of what you think is going to work. But that doesn't mean that it actually does work. And so you need to keep that in mind and constantly be revising your hypothesis or strategy.
If I was laughing when you said that, and I don't even know if you know this, but when I first started the business, I wrote a book. And
Really?
it's The Entrepreneur's Notebook. It's The Science of Marketing. And it's based on that same principle. It's really more of a marketing workbook, but it's really about, and it was written pre-social media. So it
Interesting.
so it's really which is why it desperately needs to be updated, but it was really about what do you need to do before you start spending money, before you start going off there. And I totally believe in the scientific method. You have, as you said, you have a plan. You think you know what's going to happen. You run an experiment
Yeah.
and you collect data and
Yep.
adjust and go forward. And marketing is exactly the same way.
And so I think about like how you form that strategy or hypothesis is, and how I do it is I come up with all of the reasons why I think what I want to try will not work. And I
Mhm.
overcome those and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this a little bit different or that a little bit different so that that doesn't actually happen.
Mhm.
I'll give you an example. Like if I had a landing page and I built it all the way out and I would use user experience studies or whatever else to determine that, okay, this is why they might not like this. So I'm going to do this a little bit and tweak it a little bit till I get to this final hypothesis that if my money was on the line, and it is because I'm a marketing agency, this is what I'm going to go for, but this is what I'm going to test to make sure
Mhm.
that it does in fact work.
And so with every strategy that you have, and you start with your customer. Let's be real. You start with who your customer is, what you think they want, what you think they're going to react to, and then you build this strategy. But as you're implementing and you're collecting data, I think you also need to really be prepared to test variations, to take that strategy that says, okay, we're going to invest here and here, and we're going to run these kind of ads. And you can anticipate, and you're like, well, but people might like this or this. Okay, let's run both of them. And, we're going to talk about statistical modeling in a couple of weeks. But the problem for a lot of small businesses is they don't test enough in the early stages of their strategy, and they jump into it without enough data to know, is this really a good idea?
I think that's based on the fact that their strategy, a lot of times when they involve like marketing, is they're already at this point where they're, desperately need some sort of business, and marketing wasn't part of their strategy from the get go. I know we've done one on this before, but like marketing, if you're not going to market, there's so many different forms, you might as well close up shop.
Mhm.
So you have to have that strategy from the get-go that you are in fact going to market.
Abs-
Um,
yeah, you have to. And again, it's not just because I sold marketing for I don't know, however 20 years, and Jen does it now. But marketing is the center of your business engine. It is
mhm.
what brings people to you. Your, and sales, the sales team would always argue about this, but I always think of sales as an extension of your marketing team because they're the ones that on the back end execute, they're the ones that close the deal, but they also need to be giving you and giving the marketing team good information about this brought us good customers, this didn't. So, that the full strategy has to go from these are the people we want, these are the things we're going to do to get them. Oh, look, we've got leads here. But are they the kind of customers that you want? If not, go back to square one and change the strategy.
So I'm recording over on Instagram too, so that's why you heard that. So, I think this is a good place to kind of talk about how, part of your strategy is marketing, but digital toolbox is a great place to start or continue to use, understanding where to go for strategy. And it's vital to have that information. So, do you want to talk about that course that is over on Digital Toolbox?
I absolutely would love to. Maybe. There we go. Um,
The
we
challenges.
have yeah, going live. We've got a course on building your digital marketing plan. And if you're starting out, if you think you're going to hire an agency or you think you are going to do this yourself, don't do it without a strategy. And this course is designed to help you do just that. It'll step you through a process of evaluating content in inbound marketing, SEO, SEM, social media, and email, and figuring out how they all come together, and then how you're going to use those tools for your business. I've gone
Yeah.
ahead and there is a link in the chat so you can check the course out. And it is just one of the many, many resources in the digital toolbox.
I think starting there will help you understand either if you, as a business owner, have a marketing team that's going to do it, or if you're going to have an agency do it, or whatever else. You need to take that course so that you understand the strategy behind that and you don't get sold by something that you don't necessarily need.
Absolutely. And so again, we can talk about strategy forever. There are so many moving pieces, but the bottom line is great marketing doesn't happen by accident.
No, there's a plan.
And we're going to hope that you plan to be back here next week.
All right, take care.
Wait, and before you go, I just want to remind everybody that if you want to know more, well, if you want help once you're done learning more, if you get to that point that you figure, you know what, this just is more than I want to deal with. I always forget which side you're on.
I know, I
Jen,
do the same thing.
Jennifer and her team at elevatedmarketing.solutions is a great, great place to go and have someone else help you through the chaos of marketing.
I say start with Digital Toolbox though.
We'll see you
Bye.
guys soon. Bye now.